Greetings. I am currently about to head out. I'm going to my destination. I just tried to not say like where I'm going because that's really not safe, but you're coming with me, so come on. We got to get some gas, we got to get something to eat and something else. And then we'll be on the road. So how y'all doing? All right, let's go. Okay, so what are we doing?
What we are doing is we're going to look through all this and try to find something to watch tonight
Okay.
while we're getting high.
Of course.
And we're going to have leftovers, so we'll have food.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Challenge accepted. We just got wings and coffee, and then we're gonna go back to Lucas's house. Greetings! I am back from my weekend getaway. It was very nice. I enjoyed it very much. We ate good food, we watched good movies, and it was good company. So now it's back to the grind. And this week I do plan on reviewing 2 movies. They go together though. So it's like 2 movies, but it's like the first one and the second one, So Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight is currently streaming on Netflix. It is dubbed. But once you get past that, it's not that bad. Greetings. It's Thanksgiving Day, which is one of my least favorite holidays. I am just like a cruelty-free person, and I don't really care for all the massacring that takes place during this time. So for like Thanksgiving, me and my son, we usually have like maybe more of a seafood based meal, and we don't go all out. Like we just have a nice meal. We don't like cook tons of shit, Which brings me to the point I'm about to cook right now. It's 3:30. I'm about to start. I guess we have a supper then. We have Thanksgiving supper. Wanted to check in. I started feeling like shit last night, and I was like right before my off days. Are you fucking kidding me? So I've been battling with that. Took every ounce of energy that I had to get dressed, but I did it. And now I'm finna go cook, and then I'm gonna do some more shit, and then some more shit after that. Then I'm gonna go to bed. But what do I need to do? Oh, I need to record the last part of the video. Just wanted to tap in here and let you know that it's okay not to like Thanksgiving.
The Demon Slayer Corps. We number in the hundreds. An organization completely unrecognized demons. However, the identity of the Demon Slayer Corps...
I hope you enjoyed watching the vlog as always. I just love vlogging. So I will always vlog. Even though it's different now. It seems like it's so oversaturated that it seems kind of stupid to do it. But I like it. This episode I'm doing 2 movies, but they're a part 1 and a part 2. They're like a sequel to each other. The movie is Don't Sleep in the Woods Tonight, and then Don't Sleep in the Woods Tonight part 2. So we'll put both of them up here so you can see. These are Polish movies. They're from a director in Poland, so they are dubbed, which is not everybody's favorite, including mine, but if the movie's good enough, you can forget about it, and the suspension of belief will happen. This movie's kind of there, kind of not there. These movies. The reason I chose to do them, because I watched the first one, and I was like, okay. And then when they had a second one, I was like, well, I want to see where the fuck they went with this. Like, where did they go with this? And the sequel made the first one kind of better, if that makes sense. It's more like a long movie now, you know. But I like when a sequel picks right up, uses the same characters, and flows. You know, that is not easy to do, and they did do this. So we're gonna dissect the movie a little bit, and then we're gonna go into our villains. And you know, I'll probably go in between dissecting the movie and the villain too. So just sit your ass back and enjoy. The first thing I like to do is kind of give some facts, and I have my notebook here. So if I'm looking down, like I said, this is a Poland movie. So this is Polish, and so I am about to. These names are intimidating. And then with living in the South, I done got this accent. I don't even say water. Like I had to, cause I say water. You know, like I don't know, be rolling the alphabets. Okay, so this movie's a release date, and it's streaming on Netflix. Both of them, so that's easy. Everybody has Netflix almost. There is Bartso Muskulewicz. I'll put a picture in here. This is the director right here, because I was actually impressed with him when I read up on why. First of all, he was talking about how Poland don't even have like a horror genre. So I was like, oh my God, you're doing a good thing, sir, because everybody needs a little horror in their life, because life is kind of horrifying sometimes. Okay, so and then the villains, he said, was based off of two bullies that used to terrorize their neighborhood. So I was like, okay, them motherfuckers must have been horrible. They must have been terrorizing the animals too. That's what I'm thinking, because I was like, it was a good view on what he got from horror movies, what he liked, and then he just kind of made like a big dedication to horror movies and making this movie, which, like I say, the first one, but the second one, okay. So let's talk about the first. The first one starts with a group of teenagers, and the whole premise behind this is that the teenagers are addicted to like cell phones and technology. So they're going to this camp that forbids it, you know, that takes all their technology and everything, and they can't do any of that. So that was unique, you know, and I was like, okay, this is different. So they were saying, and then you have this guy here who is really thinking, but he's speaking some truths. He is speaking some truths in the dub, but he's just really adamant about how cell phones are ruining everything, and which is a point. We are more plugged in than we're not, but if you wasn't plugged in now, you wouldn't be seeing my video, so let me sit back. And then you have the group of teenagers that all represent some stereotype. And then you have our lead right here, which I'm going to show you a picture of our lead. I'm going to show you a picture of our lead in this movie. And then I'm going to show you a picture of our lead in the part 2. And then I'm going to show you a picture of our lead of how she really looks, because I was like, I can't let my girl go out like this, because they just had her. I was like, please, somebody do that for me when, you know, when I make it. Like, please, if they have me, like, looking like a slave, at least show a picture of what I look like every day, because I do not look like some of the shit they be trying to make us look like. I understand you got to take a role, but I just don't see myself playing someone not slightly, tad bit glamorous, a little natural glam, you know, something. Don't have me out there like, remember Mariah Carey and Precious? That's about as far as I'll go with looking not cute. That's about as far as I'll go. So these kids are going into the woods to detox from cell phones, and they don't have any way to communicate. We're really just following one group of kids and seeing, you know, get the little character build on them. And then we also are getting the story of how the villains became the villains, which was really kind of by accident. I mean, it really wasn't their fault, but I like how they tied that into, it's not your typical fucking Jason kind of thing where, you know, they have a bad mom. No, it's a little more sci-fi, which is cool. I try to not ruin it for y'all, but how they become villains is unfortunate. But it seems like once this transformation takes, there's no turning back because you are quite mutated. So I mean, your hair just be falling out, so it's just like in clumps, so you can't. Yeah, and then they also have like their own language too, which we don't really find that out until part two, which is why I like part two because it gives you more substance. You're like, oh, okay, this is almost like an infection kind of, but more, oh, I don't know, more like it's like an infection, but it's like something that you, I guess, more unfortunate infection. It's not like you get bit and you turn. It's more like your ass be chilling and not looking where you sitting and you gonna turn. So once they run into these twins, they have to survive, and these twins are. This is after the twins have been turned. This is now years later, so they're older and they're strong and they have their own way of communicating, and it's just they're fucked, y'all. They're fucked. It's really hard to kill these guys. Like nobody has a lot of common sense, and it's just a lot of fucking accidents happening, and it's just like, oh, okay. So with that being said, let's go to our villain assessment. The villains are brothers, so they know how to communicate with each other. They are fucking cornbread, strong, big, thick, and they don't want, it just seems like they just don't want anybody around them. They have like a perimeter of what they live in, and nobody really goes into that perimeter. And if you do, then you run into the twins, and the twins have to deal with you. So the kids not knowing how to get out the woods, they're trying to get the one cell phone they saw. So they go back to the house, and of course, you know what happens. So I will say that our final girl, pop her in right here, she does make it out. So that's why we do have a sequel going on. But it's not pretty at all. It's not pretty. And with the villains, their strengths is that they can communicate together. They are super strong. They are not easily killed to where, like, you can't just kill them with like a machete and like think it's gonna be okay, or even just run them over. Like there has to be, and part one we really don't see. We really don't see them dying. Like they're like invincible in a way. But then later on in part two, we learn that you can, I'll just say it, you can blow them up. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to blow them up. Yes. C4, bazooka, grenade, that type of shit. Do you have it? Does Grandpa have it? Does Uncle Cuckoo have it? Somebody needs it, because the motherfuckers, boom, that's what you need. Part 2 picks up exactly where part 1 left off, which was the authorities getting to the house because our final girl had made it. So the authorities get to the house and they're about to go inside, and it ends. Picks up with her being at the police station, and introduces our new guy here. So now we have not a final girl, but we kind of have a guy. But our final girl is still in the movie, but we have this dude now. So we learn about this dude's life, and it's not great. I don't know what it is with the kind of like the greasy hair thing they got going on, but it's killing me. Ooh. Yeah. So we learn that, she goes and she tells them what happens, and they take her back to the house. And then my girl goes from this to this. And it's just like, I can't exactly tell you how it happened because I don't want to ruin the movie for you. But now we got a new villain. Yes, And by the way, the twins are in jail now too. They somehow, even though they're super strong and invincible, they're in jail. They look like they're like depressed, if that makes sense. In the second movie, they seem like they were depressed and almost either they're kind of not too smart or they're suicidal. As my girl was turned, she was like, she was ready to kill. She was all like, it's us against them. So she's definitely not an ally. I don't think none of the villains are allied because they have their own language and their own agenda, and humans are pretty much weak to them. They look at us like probably almost like dogs, or probably even worse than dogs, maybe like cattle, because I think they do kind of eat you a little bit. So she's like, I am a villain and I need a man. So our lead from this movie, she basically throw him down on the ground and do what she gotta do. Basically, and he becomes a villain. So, and then that's how we learn a lot more about them. And you know, he's kind of a softer man, you know, not a bad guy, but a softer man. So it's taken him a while to find his like she clicked right away to become a villain, but it took him. I don't even think he really found it by the end. I think he was so that he really never found it. And then he had a crush on someone and she picked up on it, and then she was all like, fuck you, I turned you and now you're one of me, but you're still trying to fucking get with this bitch. Yeah, so it was like, I was like, oh Lord. And then you know, she met an unfortunate ending, and he was on the steps, dare I say, crying. And the movie had another scene that left way for possibly another movie, and it ended. And so these people are trying to make their own species, like they're trying to do their own thing here. So they're definitely not allies. To kill them, you're going to need an explosion. Okay? Don't try to talk to them. Don't try to fuck with them. Blow that shit up and get the hell out of there. If you see, once you watch the movie and you see what's turning them, lesson, don't bring shit home. If you see an explosion, why are you gonna, I don't know, I don't feel like I would go look. I mean, maybe to make sure there's no like shit. I know, I would leave. What am I talking about? Like, something exploded over there. Let's just leave, get the animals and leave, and then we'll come back and they should have it figured out, or we won't come back. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. It never is. It never works out. So don't do it. I like this movie because of the sequel and because of the special effects are really good, and the makeup is awesome too. That's what really keeps you there, because you're like, oh, how are they gonna kill him? The dub kind of makes you want to leave, but the villains being so disgusting and seeing what they're capable of keeps you there. So I was like, these guys are perfect for villains. Perfect. So, yes, not ally at all. Fucking get away from there. Go ahead and watch these movies that are streaming on Netflix, because why not? I mean, if you can deal with the dub. And I think you can deal with the dub, because the dub is going to bother you the most on the first one. On the second one, it's going to get better. And I bet there's going to be a third one. Which, I don't know. I probably will. I don't went this far in, you know, so I probably will. I really like talking about the villains because sometimes they're misunderstood and sometimes they're just fucked up. But either way, I can relate. So my plan is to do 2 more episodes to wrap this season up. I'm going to keep doing my thing. and keep vlogging and keep watching movies. I watched a great movie on Amazon Prime called Knife Corp, and I fucking loved it. I would love to review that one, but you know, I was pushing to doing 2 movies in one with this one, but I did it for you because that shit's streaming on Netflix and it's good. So